Now I will discuss about the most important topic and the most toughest topic, that is hypothalamus. Hypothalamus is located at the base of the brain. It forms the floor and the part of the lateral walls of the third ventricle. Hypothalamus is connected to the pituitary by means of infundibulum, which is also called pituitary stalk. Functionally, hypothalamus is considered as a neuroendocrine organ, as it contains groups of specialized neurosecretory neurons which are called nuclei that produces hormones. These nuclei produces hormones, and nuclei are the group of specialized neurosecretory neurons. The hormones produced by hypothalamus either activate the pituitary to release some hormones from them or regulate the pituitary to inhibit its hormone secretion. Thus, hypothalamus produce and release both releasing hormone as well as inhibiting hormones to regulate the hormone secretion from the pituitary. Additionally, neurohormones like vasopressin, which is also called antidiuretic hormone, and oxytocin are synthesized in the hypothalamus, but they are transferred to the posterior pituitary for storage. These neurohormones are released from the posterior pituitary when needed. So, neurohormones like vasopressin and oxytocin are synthesized in the hypothalamus, but they are transferred to the posterior pituitary for storage. These neurohormones, that is vasopressin and oxytocin, are released from the posterior pituitary when needed. One of the most important function of hypothalamus is that it connects neural and chemical coordination. Hypothalamus receives neural signals from various parts of the brain and body. It then converts these neural signals into chemical signals by producing hormones. We have already learned that hormones are non-nutrient chemicals which act as intercellular messengers and are produced in trace amounts. These releasing and inhibiting hormones which are produced in hypothalamus reach the pituitary and regulates its hormonal secretion. Thus, hypothalamus serves as the interface between the nervous system and the endocrine system. Now, the most toughest part of hypothalamus. The most important hormone secreting nuclei of hypothalamus are supraoptic nucleus, paraventricular nucleus, arcuate nucleus, preoptic nucleus, and the periventricular nucleus. This periventricular nucleus should not be confused with paraventricular nucleus. Periventricular nucleus and paraventricular nucleus are not same. First, I will discuss about supraoptic nucleus. Supraoptic nucleus mainly produces vasopressin, that is the antidiuretic hormone. Next, paraventricular nucleus. Paraventricular nucleus mainly produces oxytocin and a smaller amount of vasopressin. This paraventricular nucleus also secretes corticotropin releasing hormone and thyrotropin releasing hormone. Thyrotropin releasing hormone is also called thyroid stimulating hormone releasing hormone. So thyrotropin means thyroid stimulating hormone. So thyrotropin releasing hormone is also called thyroid stimulating hormone releasing hormone. Now, arcuate nucleus, which is also called infundibular nucleus. This arcuate nucleus produces releasing hormone like growth hormone releasing hormone, which is also called somatotropin releasing hormone, because growth hormone is also known as somatotropin. So growth hormone releasing hormone is also known as somatotropin releasing hormone. Arcuate nucleus produces releasing hormone like growth hormone releasing hormone, which is also called somatotropin releasing hormone. And arcuate nucleus also releases inhibiting hormone like dopamine, which is also known as prolactin inhibiting hormone. Prolactin inhibiting hormone. So dopamine is also known as prolactin inhibiting hormone. So arcuate nucleus, which is also called infundibular nucleus, produces growth hormone releasing hormone and dopamine, that is prolactin inhibiting hormone. Now, preoptic nucleus. Preoptic nucleus produces gonadotropin releasing hormone. Now the last one, periventricular nucleus. Again I am saying that periventricular nucleus should not be confused with paraventricular nucleus. The periventricular nucleus produces somatostatin. Somatostatin is also known as growth hormone inhibiting hormone or somatotropin inhibiting hormone, because growth hormone is also known as somatotropin. So growth hormone inhibiting hormone is also called somatotropin inhibiting hormone. Somatostatin also inhibits the secretion of thyroid stimulating hormone from the anterior pituitary to a lesser extent. What we have learned till now regarding hypothalamus is more than sufficient for a NEET undergraduate aspirant. So to conclude, we can say that the hormones produced by hypothalamus are of three types. One is releasing hormone, the next type is inhibiting hormone, and the last one is neurohormones. The neurohormones are produced in the hypothalamus but stored in the posterior pituitary and released from there when needed. Thus we can say that the posterior pituitary is under direct neural regulation of the hypothalamus. So this is all about hypothalamus which you should know being a NEET-UG aspirant.